Okay, so for these two questions, it relates to hypothesis testing. We can tell immediately that it relates to hypothesis testing just by looking at number 6. It says identify the null and alternative hypothesis. However, this isn't doing the whole entire process of a hypothesis test. It's only, so this question is only asking for the null and alternative hypothesis and the standard error. So let's just start doing this. So you can see the following two questions are based on this information. A large cycle company reported that in 2010, 65% of parents of children bought their children a cycle. The same company has stated that cycle purchases for that same age group have gone up. So right here, we are getting our alternative hypothesis. Typically in these problems, they will be giving you the alternative hypothesis. The next part of the question says they surveyed 300 parents and found that 230 of them have bought cycles to their children. Okay, so so we have to specify the null and alternative hypothesis. Like I said, this is giving us the alternative hypothesis. So that means our HA is going to be, well, this is a proportions problem, right? Because we have 65%. That's how we're able to identify this as a proportions problem. So HA is going to be P is greater than, right? Greater than, because we have gone up. That's what this means. So greater than, and then 0.65. Let's get them right here. And that means our null hypothesis, H0, is just going to be the opposite of this. So it's going to be less than or equal to 0.65. Something you want to note is that for chapter 9, chapter 10 problems, when you're doing hypothesis testing, the null hypothesis is always going to have an equals in it. Whether it's equals, less than or equal, or greater than or equal, this will always have an equals in it. The alternative never has an equals in it. Okay, but now we can determine what the answer is just based on this. So which one does this match with? B, right? So there we go. The next question is asking for the standard error. So the standard error formula is something that you should know. It is also given on, let me see if I have this. You know what, I'll just write it out right here. So it's the square root. But since we're looking for the standard error of P bar, it's going to be P bar times 1 minus P bar, all divided by n. So what is P bar? P bar is not given to us explicitly. We have these two values right here, but 230 isn't our P bar and 300 isn't our P bar. Because this is a proportions problem, we need a proportions P bar value. So how can we get that? The way we would get our P bar is we would need to divide 230 by 300. 230 divided by 300. So to solve the rest of this problem, I'm going to go to Excel because I think that's going to help. It's going to help us calculate that and see that a little bit better. So give me 1 second as I switch over. All right. So let's just write out what we have. We have a P of 0.65. What else do we have? Let's figure out what our P bar is. Our P bar we said is 230 divided by 300. So that's our p-bar value. The other part of the formula asks for our n. So what is our n? Our n is going to be 300. Okay, so let's do n here, and we have 300. Okay. Now we can get our standard error. So we're going to do equals square root, and it's going to be p-bar times. You want to make sure you have the parentheses in the right place. So you want to add another parentheses when you do your 1 minus p-bar. And then you want to divide it by n. And you see how n is also in the square root? That's what you want. So there we go. And that's our answer, 0.024. And that matches with, I can stop sharing. Okay, so we said we got 0.024 when we do this, and that's going to match up with answer choice A.